I'm Jonathan. I'm an addict and an alcoholic. So, the most common thing I hear from people that are trying to help is they have never been through what I've been through. They haven't experienced the depth of addiction in the way I've experienced it. And I think in order to understand the depth of the addiction and where your mind is at that time, I think I'm just going to start with this sharing one of the happiest moments of being a proud father that I have. And this one's this one's a tough one, but next one's going to be even tougher. I've kind of planned this out to where I want to share something happy for today and just be happy. So, and my middle child came to me one day and he said, "Hey, Dad, I want you to be my coach." And I was taking him to wrestling practice. I was taking all three of my boys to wrestling practice, and that wasn't the boys were doing good in wrestling, but they weren't succeeding like they wanted. And some of the other dads were actually coaches, and their kids seemed to be getting first place almost every time. So when he came to me and said, "Dad, I want you to be my coach," I thought, "Holy crap!" But I knew I couldn't let him down. I couldn't tell him no. He was like 9 years old, 8 years old. I was like, "Holy crap! I'm gonna have to do this, and I'm gonna have to get it figured out because I don't want to let him down." So very proud moment. And another proud moment shortly after that, that would have been the second year of coaching wrestling. My oldest boy had just decided he was not going to wrestle anymore. My youngest boy was finally old enough to wrestle instead of sitting in the coaching box with me. And my middle one, he was starting to get it figured out. And I think as a coach, I was starting to get it figured out. So working full time, working two jobs, sometimes three jobs, I still took time out of my schedule to spend 4 hours a week, well, 4 hours a night, twice a week, wrestling and coaching the two boys, my younger two. And it showed when I actually put the time in with them, worked on stuff at home, worked on stuff in practice, all 2 hours for the first practice, 2 hours for the second practice in one night. Tuesdays and Thursdays, every week I did that for a long time. And my hard work and dedication that I put into it was starting to show out. It was starting to show a lot. And so my most proud moment, I think, was we were at it was actually the school and the club that we were actually with. We were at that tournament, so it was kind of showing off at home. But I had a 6 year old, 5 or 6 year old. I don't remember if he was 5 or 6. I think he was just 5. I had a 5 year old firecracker to my right, and and he was either 9 or 10. My 9 or 10 year old to my left, and I've got pictures to prove it too. A lot of people remember it, but I had my firecracker to my right, and I had my beast to my left. My beast was my beast of a 9 year old, and then I had my stud in the stands. All of my boys are 4 years apart, so he must have been 14, 13, 14 at the time. But anyways, so I have my stud in the stands taking the picture. He got just the perfect picture at just the right time. I'll never forget that moment in my life. My firecracker, my beast, I was right in between them. I started out coaching on the right, didn't even realize that my middle child went up to my left. So I was in between the two boys. They were both wrestling at the same time, and as I was looking to the right, coaching my youngest, because I always felt obligated to make sure he was right there with me. He was pretty young, 4 or 5 years old. And as I was coaching him, I looked to my left, and my middle child was right there to my left, and he was listening to exactly what I was saying. We got a picture of both boys rolling over and pinning their component at the same time, with me right in between them, coaching them. And that year, we really pulled it together as a family. That was the 3 boys and I, 4 nights or 2 nights a week, 4 hours a night. So a total of 8 hours a week I put into just the coaching. And then at home, when we were struggling, we worked on it together. All 3 of us did. Aiden, or my oldest boy, he didn't wrestle, but he was right there helping us as a coach too. He was a big part of the success. And to this day, my youngest still wrestles. He's made it to state every year so far. I was his coach for the first 3 of his 5 years going to state. So that was my most proud moment as a father. I will never forget that, and I'm gonna stay with that for a little bit. But like I said when I started this video, to understand the depths of addiction, just imagine that moment where you're succeeding and the most proud you've ever been in your life. It just doesn't get any better than that. That's just, we didn't have a lot of money, but we had enough money to go to wrestling tournaments. I had enough money to get my coaching band. I had enough money to put in the time. Money's not everything. I didn't need money. I needed to spend that time with my boys, and the time that I put in with my boys, the payout was worth more than money ever would be. It was amazing. So just imagine the depth, or the peaks, I should say, the peaks of my success, like being on the top of a mountain. Indescribable feeling. It's one of my happiest memories, I think, as a father. And I'm going to hold on to that one for a little bit and let that feel good, because I'm proud of that one. And I'm not quite ready to share the next one yet. The next one's going to be a tearjerker, so I guess for anybody out there that's experienced these mountain peaks that I'm talking about, successful moments, and falling down the mountain, tripping on every rock on the way down, and basically ending up at the gates of hell, that is a good analogy for how good life can be, and how far down it can get you if you let it take you there. So I'm going to leave this video with this. If you're at the bottom, there's nowhere to go but up. So keep focused on the things that make you happy, and the memories. There's just anything to focus on, something that makes you happy, not drugs, not using, not that kind of happiness. I'm talking real happiness. Like, find a memory like I just shared. Find something like that and focus on that, because you're going to want that back. If you can focus on that happiness that you felt at that moment, one of your most proud moments, you'll find your way back. It's huge. You got to focus on the happy things, and not drugs, not using, not that kind of happy. I'm talking permanent happy, like really killing it, like getting it. So focus on your happy things, happy moments, happy accomplishments. That'll bring you back. It'll pull you from the depths of addiction. It will bring you back. So I'm gonna leave for a little bit. I'm gonna probably go do some push-ups and work out a little bit, get some stuff off my chest that way too. And definitely getting back on here in a little bit. I want to share the next, probably one of the worst feelings I've ever had in the world. But I'm gonna enjoy this one first. Proud dad, proud happy person. I'm gonna enjoy this one for a little bit first. So thanks for watching. I hope you subscribe, and next one's gonna be a tearjerker. So bring some tissues, and yeah, I'm gonna go work out. I'll be back later.